calling all misfits, rebels, leaders, and teachers, welcome to the one place where the only way to fit in is by standing out, where big goals are met with even bigger action, and where we talk through, then tackle all things entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Kelsey, and this is the Get Shit Done podcast. Welcome to the Rebel-ution. I'm joined by Jolene Fleming. She's the founder of Upper Left Accounting and the co-founder of Summa Collective, two specialized financial firms serving construction companies and beauty entrepreneurs. With over a decade of experience in bookkeeping, accounting, and financial strategy, Jolene is passionate about helping business owners gain clarity in their numbers, maximize profitability, which we love around here, and scaling with confidence. Jolene, thank you so much for being here. If I missed anything in that bio, or if you feel like there's any context that the people need to know, do you mind bringing them up to speed before we dive into your big old question?
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. I'm super excited to chat with you. I've been in the accounting space my entire career. Started out working in-house for some local small businesses and then moved to working in a firm with multiple small businesses about a decade ago. I just love the numbers, compliance aspect of it, and really supporting small business owners with their finances. And I'm just such a firm believer in that the numbers are the foundation of your business, and you really can't build anything until you know your numbers, and making sure your numbers align with where you're going and that the numbers always tell the story of your business.
Yeah, absolutely. I think your industry is unique. And as a business consultant, all of my clients either need someone like you or are working with someone like you. So from my perspective, because I think you listening may be like, okay, beauty and construction, the two exist truly just to make it really easy to market and connect with your ideal client for each. Is that really the like cut to the chase answer for that?
Yeah, it totally is too. We also work with business owners that are not in those two spaces. Riches are in the niches, right? And from a marketing perspective, it does help so that we can take those specific brands and those firms and market to those niches. At the end of the day, bookkeeping and accounting on a fundamental level is the same no matter how you do it. The way that we have set up our processes and the services that we offer for each firm is a little different, right? We have also modeled the tech that we use a little bit differently between the brands for that client facing aspect of it to be a little bit more usable to the clients that are in those brands and in those niches.
I'm asking these questions to lay the foundation because I think it will impact where we head with your big old business question.
I love it.
So just you're listening. There are three different firms, two women who are connected to all three of them in different capacities, I think it's fair to say. But at the end of the day, the service you provide is the same. It's just tailored to those niches. Keep that in the back of your head. And then my question to you, Jolene, is what is the big business problem that you guys are currently facing?
So the big business problem that we're facing is what we're finding more and more what clients are truly needing and wanting is more strategy and advisory level. And that's where Christy and I really truly love living in the business, right? Besides growing the businesses and managing the businesses is when we're looking at client facing, what do we really truly love doing? And where our skill set is at is doing those strategies and consulting. And we've been doing it in some capacity for years. Now we're just really wanting to build out that offer suite. And how can we support these business owners and these clients better from that advisory and strategy point and have a process to it? Because right now we're just doing it willy-nilly, which is working. The clients are getting the value of the service, but internally, we don't have any processes documented or any deliverables outlined or what that truly looks like. So we're just flying by the seat of our pants right now. And it's been working, but we're doing it on a very limited capacity because I'm very hesitant to go to the masses and be like, yeah, these are services that we offer when we don't have the behind the scenes fleshed out. And really, how do we deliver? What are we even selling to clients or business owners, right? And they're like, okay, that's great, but what am I getting? And you get a chat with them. We'll talk about your numbers. So just trying to flesh that out so that it is a product that we can market and sell. And it's so needed and it's so wanted. And I just having this kind of roadblock with, okay, like, where do we go? What do we do now?
Yeah, one, you guys both love doing it and want to do more of that service. That is, to me, green light, move forward with this. The second is demand from your people. People say, your current customers saying, hey, Do you offer this? Could you do this? I'm needing this. And having that consistently show up. So to me, that's like a hell yes offer, and the hell yes people combo is so brilliant. So then now all we have to solve for is how do we package it in a way that's going to make sense for you guys in a capacity standpoint and also deliver to the needs of your people. Because the truth is, we think sometimes we need like a full, robust online course with automations and emails and check-ins and tons of tech supporting it. And honestly, sometimes your people just want 30 minutes of your time. We would be
Mhm.
surprised sometimes how simple the solution could be. But I think you're very smart in holding back that desire because you want to build it right. So I'm just going to ask some fire hose questions to see if we can get a little closer to the answer today. If you had to choose to either offer this to your existing clients just to enhance the experience, potentially add on, serve them in a deeper way, or use this as a lead gen opportunity, which one feels like a more immediate need for you?
Yeah. So the more immediate need is serving our current clients, right? Like I always want to be able to serve more business owners and support more business owners. But from a business owner perspective, it's if our current clients are already needing and wanting this, they already know, trust us. It's a much easier sell and it's give the people what they want, right? Like
Yeah.
they're ready,
Yep.
they're willing. And so I want to make sure that my house is in order, right? Before we're also opening the floodgates to new clients coming in. So for now, I would like to focus on current clients and how we can support them better.
Love that and agree with that answer.
Yeah, we definitely want to spearhead it together. I bring a lot of the accounting and compliance, and Christy really brings a great perspective of, okay, that's great. Like, now, how do we tweak this and how do we do this in actual reality and in real life? And knowing that we're all busy business owners and we all have a different risk tolerance when it comes to compliance.
Right.
That does lead to
Yeah.
its own issues, like you said, capacity and our calendar availability. Her and I are able to and wanting to move into this more strategic and advisory spaces because we have teams, right? We have teams for all the brands. We're so fortunate that we're at a position where we're out of most of the day to day accounting work of our clients and are really wanting to continue to evolve as a brand and as a firm to offer these higher level services to our clients.
Brilliant. That was my follow up. Do you have the right people in the right positions to support this so that you guys would actually have the capacity to offer whatever way we package this?
Yeah. And how we envision it is the team is doing the accounting behind the scenes. So we're able to use that data, use those numbers to do this
Mhm.
strategy sessions and this advisory. And they're there to be a seat at the table if needed, got the basics covered.
That's amazing. So then where we go from here is what are the patterns? You guys have done some of these calls or people are requesting them. What are some of the keywords that keep popping up that your existing clients are communicating to you that they need or are wanting from you that they're not currently getting in your existing offers?
Yeah, great question. And I think that's where I get a little, I don't know, because
Yeah.
it can be such a variety of things, right? And that's why I've been having a hard time formulating what these services look like because it could be so many different things. So some things that current clients have come to us that they're wanting that higher level advisory and strategy is things like, hey, the space next to my salon just opened up for rent. I'm thinking about renting that space as well and expanding, but can I afford it? Right? How much additional revenue could I potentially bring in? But how much additional costs am I going to have? Does that make sense for where I'm at in business right now? Things like, hey, I want to transition all the chair renters in my salon to employees or vice versa. What is the pros and cons of revenue versus expenses for each model? We're currently working with a client to set up the budget for the year. So looking at historical trends, goals that she has, and how can we structure a budget for this year for her to use as a template as we go throughout the year. We just met with a client this week who have multiple entities and they're like, we want to make sure that we're optimizing the structure of all of our firms correctly. And we want to make sure that we're optimizing tax savings and tax strategy. And what does that look like? What can we implement? With accounting, it's easy, right? This is what needs to get done. This is how we get there. These are the packages that we offer. But with this advisory and consulting, it's so much more because I'm a true believer that any decision that you make or don't make in your business, you should look at your finances and your numbers and see how that will be affected. There's so many decisions that we make as business owners from day to day, week to week, month to month, quarter to quarter, year to year, that it's hard to capture all of that blurb about what this service that we offer is.
Yeah. It really shook out to 2 offers. One of which to me would be like a financial strategy add-on. We don't even need to worry about the how quite yet, but something that's like a let's get all our ducks in a row. Let's get a little bit more strategic and in the weeds in future forecasting than just your normal package that is offered to all your existing people as their annual strategy VIP day. I think there is room and space for that. What's nice about that is that would be eventually not quite automated, but like a pretty, this is everything we need to come to this meeting. Here's the goal and kind of execution of it. And then here's your homework moving forward. And by the way, we're already working together, so we can just ensure we're all going in the same direction. So I think that is a no-brainer and something you could add pretty easily tomorrow. Then the second one, I think, is just a custom in the moment support. And really what that can look like is, hey, we offer 3 of them a month. First come, first serve. Here's the specific things that this is best used for. It could truly, the how can hang people up sometimes. The how could truly just be, here's a Calendly link where you pay for time, you pick a time that works that's already synced up to your 2 schedules. And the capacity is you have 2 or 3 a month that you guys have the time blocked off to be able to execute on. But I think even just separating out like what is just normal operations plus a little versus what is an option where you can meet people in the moment, because those in the moment needs are also magic and great opportunities as well. In conclusion, I think it's 2 offers. That helps to separate them as separate things a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely does. And so we love doing the like ad hoc method, right? Because there's no deliverable, right? It's like jump on a call, let's brain dump, let's strategize. We're having a seat at the table, right? I imagine us all around in a CEO suite hashing things out because we're having that collaboration and we are the industry experts. So yeah, then building out, okay, so then where do we go from here? Because a lot of the times when we do those strategy sessions, it's okay, great. Now, are there things that we need to implement, or like the hiring the kids? Like that's great. There's a lot of other pieces of the puzzle that need to go into that. So letting the client take the lead, like saying, okay, like they need job descriptions and we need to figure out what their pay looks like and all of that. But then there are some times when the client's, okay, actually, this is all great, but I would like you guys to sit at the table while we implement this and help me implement what that actually looks like. So I like the idea of having that VIP day. And that's the same for this budgeting project that we're doing for our client, right? She just, hey, is this something that you can help us with? And we were like, yeah, totally. So we did an initial call where we went over like what her goals are. Now I need some behind the scenes time to build that budget out. And then we'll meet again, go over the budget. We'll give her a template so she can enter in her numbers every month to track against that budget. And so, yeah, that's how we outlined what that will look like for the time being.
Something to remind yourself as you're going through all of this. Clarity and confidence can be a deliverable, and that's okay if literally just talking to a professional who really understands from a pretty in-depth perspective, is this the right decision for my business? Yes or no. You may not have to do any follow-up, and that's okay. You don't need to create work for yourself just because like you're meeting with them.
At the end of the day, I think that Christy and I's goal is to be able to offer these strategy sessions, but not have a lot. Like once we're off the call, like we're off the call. If we're just showing up and we're just doing the call and the client is still getting the value that they need, that's ideal.
Yeah. And I think it's just back to just being a little different in your approach to your industry. So know that your examples and your models may not be your peers in the industry. You may have to look outside of that. But if not you, who? If that's a big decision, we'll go back to the salon example. If you're trying to pro con, do I transition from 1099 to W-2 for the whole team? You and I know, yes, there's financial ways to navigate that, but there's also a lot of emotional and cultural and things you have to consider. Do you have time to be a leader? Do you want that? All of that stuff. How amazing that you guys not only understand, you already know my numbers because you're already inside of my business. You're the best person to have this conversation with. And that's why I think having the 2 is important, because I think the more budget kind of annual planning strategy side to me is rinse and repeat. And it's just a really robust questionnaire they fill out. They do a lot of the pre-work providing you with here's specifically what I'm wanting out of this. Then you have your meeting. And this is what's crazy with AI. I don't know how into it you guys are, but I'm a dabbler. I do these VIP days. We do it on whiteboards, old school, because it just helps with brainstorming. I take photos of it. I put it into Chat GPT and I say, hey, please write a professional recap email with next steps. And that way I'm not having to reinvent the wheel over and over again. The how side of things, there may be solutions for you to simplify the follow-up pieces. However, I don't know that it can fully create a robust budget for you. But that being said, that's, again, why the two offers. To me, the ad hoc almost doesn't really have any, except for maybe, okay, cool, we'll put your kids on payroll next time. But the more annual planning one probably to me comes with more work because it's not annual planning, but like with the data of your business, which is to me so valuable. And that's why we have to treat them differently too.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I see where you're going with that for sure. And the ChatGPT will never be able to build out a budget, but that's okay because I can do that. And that's
Yeah, exactly.
That's the value of our expertise. And yeah, so I love that.
Yeah. And I think at this stage in the game, if you're rolling it out, it's not new, like you're already doing it. But if you're launching this offer, just start real simple and you'll notice the patterns because then that could turn into, oh, wow, maybe this is a workshop we offer just our clients once a year or quarterly or whatever. That will be shown to you as you have more data and experience doing this with your people because you'll see what patterns show up. Or maybe, hey, some of this could be content. Some of this could be like, oh, maybe we have an internal YouTube channel or podcast or something that goes just to our clients or internal Chat GPT that speaks just to our clients. There's so many future solutions that could exist, but I think I would just look at the 2 calendars you guys have. How long does it make sense to sit with someone? Is it 3 hours? Is it 6? Is it 2? Let's block off a couple dates. Let's email our people and say, hey, we're testing out this new offer. This is how much it is. This is what it is. This is what we're hoping to do. First come, first serve, and freaking go for it.
Okay. This makes sense instead of just me.
Back to the top, it's like you guys are interested and the people are asking. And like when you bring those two things together, then it means you're onto something that is a good add-on. Not just you being greedy, not just you being distracted either. Like it genuinely makes sense. I would hate for you guys to spend a ton of time building a bunch of automations if you build it all out and your people are like, I literally just need 30 minutes of your time. And you're like, really? That's it? I just think the doing of it, you're gonna learn so much more. And then you guys will get paid and practice along the way. And who doesn't want that?
Yeah. No, that's perfect. That's great. Thank you.
For sure. And then on the ad hoc side, I'd even get a little specific of, yes, this can be whatever business financial needs you have, but here's specifically what this is best for. And that's what I have for my VIP days. It's a whole day with me, but it's really best for systems. So onboarding, offboarding, SOPs, and launching. Those are the 4 buckets. And literally when they're picking their time, they have to choose one of the 4. Okay. And then they have to provide, there's a lot of pre-work that goes in that they are giving me as much as possible. Obviously, you have the number side of things, so that may be some of it is going to be on you, but all of that to say they can provide, make them come to the table prepared and ready to go. So that way you're really prepped and ready and can best execute. And maybe it is like listing out pro-conning big financial changes, prepping for big life personal changes, which could include house, car, baby, move, be that specific. So then maybe they have to pick which one this falls under. And that is better than them just hanging out for an hour and a half. And then you're like, I feel like I didn't do anything.
When we don't have a deliverable or we're just chatting for 45 minutes or 90 minutes or whatever it is, I get off the call and I'm like, man, I really hope that they found out it's valuable. And I think that they should have, or I hope that they feel like they got their money's worth, right? That's always really important to me as a business owner when we're investing in this coaching and consulting. I always want them to get off the call and be like, oh my gosh, that was I'm so glad I made that decision to move forward. And I found that so beneficial.
That's where that pre-step of what is the best vehicle for. If you just have general accounting questions, honestly, email. I know it's not sexy, but like we can do that in an email. But if you're pro-conning big decisions, this is the perfect meeting. And here's why. Here's where we'll end up. If it impacts our relationship or changes our packages, we will clean all of that up for you. And if there's homework for you to do, we will send you a recap email of what those next steps are. If you do it over Zoom, you can record the Zoom, same thing, do the recap there too.
Okay, love it.
Yeah. It can be simple. I think it's breaking it into 2 offers. I think that annual one is money though. And I would be very intentional of what time of year makes sense to book it because
Mhm.
I would obviously not do it during tax season. Maybe it's this is not an option this month to this month, but the rest of the year is free game. We recommend actually starting these conversations in the summer because it means these changes need to go into execution in the fall, which means we're prepping for wrapping up the year in the winter.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you also have to think this has to be expensive. If the 2 of you are on a call, that is you 2 being pulled away from other things.
Yeah.
It is also not for everybody.
Yeah, and that's another mindset that I have to make because it is, like you said, pulling both Christy and I off of managing the businesses to do these strategic calls does to come with a price tag. And so I'm struggling with how do we portray that value to the clients? Pay $500 to meet with us for 45 minutes. And they're like, for 45 minutes, I have to pay $500. What am I getting out of that? How do I know that I'm getting my values worth when I leave that call? And that's just a me issue, right? I'm like, if there's no deliverable, like, what are we truly giving them? And we're giving them our combined 40 plus years of industry experience and accounting knowledge and IRS regulation knowledge and operational knowledge. And that's just something that I have to personally get over valuing, I guess, myself and that knowledge enough that other people will value it as well.
I come back to the 2 because to me, if it's just 45 minutes of time and I don't know what I'm getting, that's a tough sell.
Mhm.
However, if it's an annual strategy where I'm going to walk away, if not today, but like in the future because of this meeting with a clear budget for the year, I know what purchases to make. I know if we're profit heavy, what things we're doing. I feel confident that you and I are on the same page. That is worth so much. And also, that specific one does come with some work that you will have to do before or after we know that. But it's packaged that way and it's really specific versus the other one. To me, it's okay, then you're pro conning whether or not to 1099 or W-2 on your own. And maybe you, even me, like maybe you have a business coach who can help you make that decision from like a team culture perspective. But I'm not going to be able to give the financial, get in the weeds in the way that you can. To me, the value of that is the magic is the specificity to your answer. I know how to help you pro con when that makes sense. Maybe it's a dollar amount you need to hit or a team size amount where that financially makes sense to then support all those other things. But like I'm the best person for that because I'm already in your business weeds. That's why I think being specific will just make it so much easier versus just, I think for moving in your head, you need to step away from 45 minutes of our time to strategy, like annual strategy where we're getting on the same page and we're clear on what those steps are, or specific business needs we are pro conning and helping, coming alongside you to help you decide what makes sense. And that's it. And then that's why it's not for everyone. Because if someone's, oh, I just want to know about this new BOI thing, that is not the best use of your time or my time. Don't be afraid to be specific on packaging it in a way that's going to be most supportive. We think more options better. No, it's confusing and it's hard for you guys to replicate that. And then again, I just really stand firm that those 2 make tons of sense. And then the build out of it, I think separating those 2 out and then just now you need to look at the calendar, figure out your guys' availability. Can we really get to what we need to in an hour and a half? Does 2 hours make sense? What is going to get us the best solution? It doesn't matter how long it takes. My VIP days are 6 hours because we have a lunch break. And that's a long day, but it flies by and we're able to get so much more done that like a package of 6 separate one-on-ones just doesn't do it. So for me, that package made more sense for the work that we're doing. And then what's cool is marketing. You don't need like a Instagram strategy for this yet.
We already have 100 clients that we can tap into.
100 clients, you do 2 a month. Maybe you take 2 months off because tax season. So maybe you're doing 20 of these a year. Like it would be quick to fill up. You will hit the ceiling of this soon. However, I think that there's so much value in that experience again, because then you'll see, oh, this should be a workshop. This could be a group thing. Like you will learn, but this step is crucial first. But I think you just need the green light to go.
So
Your people
cool.
want it.
I know. And that's the thing where they're doing the compliance and not as much of the strategy. And you work with business owners every day. That's why, yes, the compliance bucket needs to be checked and it needs to happen. What's truly going to move the business forward and really show our value and our worth is this advisory and strategy.
And maybe this is only available to current clients. So maybe this is like a whole nother reason why having us be your firm is worth it because this unlocks this offer that is not available to other people.
Yeah, definitely. And that makes sense too, because it is really hard to do strategy around numbers when you don't know if the numbers are accurate, if you're not the one doing the bookkeeping and doing the accounting. When we can review financials that our team has prepared, it's great because we know that whatever we're forecasting on or whatever we're budgeting on, it's accurate. So we stand by that end result. And it's as long as you do the work and things go according to plan, this is where you can definitely end up.
The need is there. Your people want it. A simple solution broken up into those two, and then just do a couple and iterate from there, I think is going to be the best bang for your buck.
Okay. Someone agrees. Someone thinks that this is a good idea besides me. So it should be a thing.
Yeah. And sometimes we need to be reminded when you're embarking on new, like you're entering new territory. So your examples and your proof of concept has to look different.
Yeah. And like you said earlier, I'm a big proponent of doing things differently. And so looking at how industries are doing like these VIP days, like you for like business
Yep.
coaches or whatever, it's okay. But can we do that? Just,
Yeah.
but like we're doing it from a financial perspective instead of like a systems perspective or a process perspective. And so I'm like, yeah, that's great that this is how the accounting industry does it, but we can do it differently, right? Our motto is we're not your dad's accountants. No shame to the dads, but we're trying to do things differently and grow and evolve with this new evolution of business owners. And if we look at business owners in our space and in our demographic, they want different things. I want nothing more than to give them that support that they want and they need. And it's just, yeah, how do we get there? How do we do that? So
Yeah.
I appreciate you walking me through that. I'm leaving on a business retreat tomorrow. I have so much time to hash all this out.
Don't let this ceiling scare you. There is a ceiling of how many you can handle, but this is the right next step. From there, you can see what makes sense. You could do like accounting retreats. You could do some really cool stuff to support your people, but people often skip over this step because it's not scalable. It's not. What we're talking about, you guys, is not a scalable offer. However, it's going to be so much more informative for her next thing that this makes sense to do now. I think that can be really liberating too. Okay, I just need to max this out and optimize this first. Then we can talk about raising prices. Then we could talk about maybe offering a call with you versus Christine, what the difference of those could be. And I think that it could grow from there, but don't let that future distract you from what needs to happen first.
Great reminder. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming, sitting in the hot seat. And I told you all, obviously we're in a talk shop here, but if you are needing accounting services or bookkeeping support, I'm just a huge advocate for good, ethical people in the industry, and they crank out some really valuable content. So where's the best place people can get connected and also maybe hold you accountable and keep an eye on all this stuff that you have that you'll be rolling out?
The best place to reach out to us is the Summa Collective on Instagram. We have lots of content up over there. Please check us out, see if you like our vibe. And if so, and you want to chat more, you can always book a consultation with us to learn more about the services that we offer and how we can potentially work together. And thank you for all the kind words. We are trying to be disruptors in the industry and really bring accounting and the numbers of your business to be understandable for business owners so that they feel empowered when they look at their numbers. We love seeing business owners thrive when they use the numbers that we're giving them and the metrics and the KPIs that we go over with them on a monthly or quarterly basis to truly make changes in their business that affect that bottom line. So thank you.
Awesome. Just a reminder, if you're listening and you're thinking of creating a new offer, maybe re-listen to this episode, slow it down, and take some notes along the way. Because even though we talked about numbers and KPIs, I think this could apply to a lot of businesses. And I'm just so excited for you. Can't wait to see how this all unfolds. And I will catch everyone on the next episode. Thanks for being a part of the Get Shit Done Rebel-ution. My hope is this episode sparked a fire in you, equipped you with some practical next steps, or inspired you to take action towards your goals. If it did, please help spread the word by sharing this episode or leaving a review on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you're tuning in.